Hi, welcome to my favorite day of the week. It is Talk Wednesday day, and I have such an amazing guest. Every guest is amazing in their own right. And I just get more and more excited each week as I meet more and more and more and more people. So, to Shelly Lynn, thank you so much for this opportunity that you've given to me to have these incredible conversations with all the amazing people in our community. Today is definitely no exception. And also a big thanks to Leanne Miles from the Clinton Wilkins Mortgage Team for this opportunity. Thank you so much for your generous sponsorship of these Talk Wednesdays. So without further ado, I am very excited to introduce Billie to you guys. Billie, you have such a unique last name. I did not want to desecrate it. So will you please share how we pronounce your last name?
Aadmi. I used to say, like add me to
Oh,
Facebook, you know, kind of like that. Add me. Yeah.
there we go. And how does one add you to Facebook? Is that your favorite platform to hang out on, or are you
Actually,
more of an Instagram or a LinkedIn?
Instagram, I have TikTok, I have a YouTube channel. I am branded as the Hustle Coach. So you can find me there. It's the underscore hustle underscore coach on Instagram. TikTok is just the Hustle Coach, and as well as on YouTube.
Love it. Okay,
Yeah.
so the hustle coach. All right. That could mean so many different things. I'm a former skating coach, and so I
Yeah.
used to always try to get my hockey players to hustle out there, but I don't think that's what you do at all. So please tell us, what does Billie add me to Facebook? What does
Love it.
your hustle coach what does that title, because you had to pick that for yourself, so what does
Mhm.
that title mean to you, Billie?
Well, I mean, coaching is such an amazing profession. And there's so many different kinds of coaches. So I really wanted to find a term that people that know me and know how I operate will want to come to me for those types of results. So I'm not here to hold your hand. I am here to tell you what you need to do to get where you need to go. So I'm not a coach that does
Mm,
things to you. I am a coach that does things with you, except you are going to take the steps and I will be your tour guide to help you get where you need to be.
okay, I love that. That is okay. So you're, yeah, so I'm getting this sense from you too that you maybe do it with a little bit of tough love as well,
No, it's not tough love.
because no, okay.
I want to kind of preamble, and if that scares you, if hustling and doing the work scares you, then I am not your coach, because I am a results coach. I guarantee my results in writing. I am a neurolinguistic programming coach, which is NLP, which literally you're changing the way you talk to yourself. Timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, as well as NLP coaching. So, what we do is we really help you work with your unconscious mind. Because if you knew what you were doing wrong, you would have fixed it and you would have gotten to your results. The problem is, majority of people don't realize how much of their self-talk, what they think of underneath their conscious mind, is driving them to get to their results, which is usually not getting them where they want to go. So think of it, that's why I call
Mm,
myself kind of a tour guide. I'm going to help you map out where you are on the map and then help you get there in using your unconscious mind, because that's the driver. What we say in our industry is the conscious mind is the goal setter. The unconscious mind is the goal getter. So those things aren't in the line, because you can say all
mm,
you want. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to build a successful business. I want to XYZ. If your unconscious mind does not believe you, first of all, you're not going to get there. If your unconscious mind does not
mm.
know how to get there, it's not going to get there. So this is what we do is in our industry is we help you really get your unconscious mind on the same level of where you are, so that you guys can both, we say you guys because as if they're two different personalities, except it's driving 96
Mm.
of 96% of your life. And people don't realize this. They're like, I'm doing all these things and I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to do, and I'm still not getting the results I'm wanting to get. It's like, well, let's have a little checkup with your unconscious mind and see where you're at.
Mm.
And so the way we
Okay,
do
so I
this,
want to rewind.
yeah, sure. Sorry, yeah, I can just go on and on.
No, no, yeah, no, and I love that. So I just want to rewind you, and I want you to say it again because it was like a mic drop moment. Like it could have been like, okay, there you go. That just sums it up. You said one is the goal setter and one is the goal getter.
Yeah.
Say that sentence again,
Your
or a version
unconscious.
of that sentence again, because it was brilliant.
For sure, for sure. Right. And yeah, when I first learned this, I was like, "Ah, no wonder I'm not getting where I need to be because the things I need to get there are just not happening." So your conscious mind, the one that you're thinking of, all the things that you need to do, your calendar, you're right here, right here. That's your conscious mind. That is the goal setter. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to start a new business. I want to quit my job and do this. I want to do that. That's the conscious mind where you're setting your goals. Now, what you need to get to your goals is what your unconscious mind helps you do. So that's where all the resources
Mm,
are. That's where all the languaging comes in, and the belief and the manifestation and all the energy that you need in order to get there. That's where you need to get to, so you get to your goals. So that's the goal getter.
okay, okay. So is this a little bit like CBT? Is it a little bit like that? Like that because cognitive behavioral therapy, where would this be the same or where would it be different then? Because it sounds similar, but I have a feeling that there's definitely got to be some major differences.
Yeah, I don't want to speak too much about CBT just because I'm not super familiar with it. However, from my
Of
understanding, it's
course.
with a lot more of your conscious mind, how you think. So
Okay.
your
Okay.
unconscious
Okay.
mind is, you don't know what's going on because that's your conscious mind thinking. The unconscious mind is the feeling.
Mhm.
That's where we go to.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and I'll give you an example of some of the techniques that we use. There's simple ones that can happen within a few minutes. We have full breakthroughs that take 10 to 12 sessions, which is an hour, hour and a half. And that is a lot of first clearing out the past. So the way I kind of describe this is like, our cell phones, we get constant updates, right? We have to update our phone, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
if we,
Mhm.
to clear the bugs, the viruses, all that nasty stuff, we need to get rid of that. A lot of times people, what they do is they just try to install new things without clearing out the bugs. And eventually all those bugs and viruses will still keep coming in and sabotaging your efforts. So the first things that we do is we clean up the past. We get rid of negative emotions. We get rid of limiting decisions. Because so many of us have these limiting decisions that, I mean, some of the main ones, we're not worthy, we're not good enough, we're not lovable. And it's those underlying patterns and that almost like that internal movie that's constantly running in the background that is really like silently sabotaging our efforts. So what we do is we clear all that out, and then that's where the work comes in. So I will help you clear that out through our techniques. That's something that you can't really do on your own. You need a coach to do that. Where the client comes in is they will come in and start doing all the work of installing the new patterns. So with guidance, we help install the new
Okay.
patterns and tasks, and then we help you rewire all the patterns that you've been running so that they're helping you get to your goals instead of sabotaging your goals. Does that make sense?
Got it. Got it. Okay. Okay. Yes. So now that can be scary, I'm assuming, for a lot of people.
Yes.
Because they know they have to do it, but some people, they don't want to go there. So is
Mhm.
that where the hypnotherapy comes in, because it puts people in a different state of mind? Or um can
Yeah.
you kind of summarize quickly what your process would look like? Okay, I'm raising my hand, Billy, I want to hire you. What does that
Right.
process entail? How would
Good
what would
question.
you, or I don't know, we're going to do, yeah, so this is like our consultation. We're going to do a call, so I can feel out what you're all about. What's your
Yeah.
process?
Sure. Well, I will chunk it up a little bit instead of getting into too much detail because I know we could be here all day if I get into the nitty-gritty. Basically, what we do is we start with a load of questions. And the first main question is, why are you here? People really need to
Mm,
understand, why are they here? And that's not just, well, what's your why? We always talk about what's your why driving you. Why are you here? Why are you in this moment in time needing a change? Right? Because that's one of the other questions we ask is,
mhm,
why now? Why didn't you do this 10 years
mhm,
ago,
mhm,
5 years ago, or whatever? So there's a lot of discovering what it is, what those patternings are, and what's not been working for you. And again, I'm going to keep saying this, is that this is a do with process. I'm not doing anything to anybody. I'm just helping kind of guide them to wherever they need to go in the map. So we start off with tons of questioning. Based on that questioning, that's where we do a lot of the clearing. So we're getting rid of the viruses, the bugs, the negative emotions, the limiting decisions. And then we will start installing new things. And there's tons of techniques that we can use. Whether it's simple as, like, you procrastinate. Easy. We call them anchors. We're setting anchors on you so that if you get into this feeling of wanting to procrastinate, we install these anchors on you, literally on your body, and we get you into that motivation mode. They're simple things. We're all human. Something happens. It's all about, what movies are you running? Okay, well, let's install some resources so that when those negative patterns or those negative movies start rolling, we can get rid of them really quick. So if something happens, right? 'Cause life
mm,
happens. Come in, okay, fine, something threw you off your track. Okay, well, how do you get back instead of it ruining the rest of your day? And we have lots of techniques that are literally instantaneous, like it takes minutes. And then from there, the hypnosis part that you mentioned, we don't do that till the end because we got to clear it all out. We got to set it all up. And the hypnosis just kind of sinks it all in, if you get what I mean. Like, that's where we give you some techniques to really kind of do the self hypnosis. So if you are getting
mm,
back into those motions, we can help with that. With kind of just like really drives it into your unconscious mind. And again, we're a lot of these techniques, they're really
mm.
fast because we want you to think. We don't want you to think about what we're saying. It's about feeling it. And if we say it's too slow and you think about it, it's only getting to your conscious mind. It's not getting to your unconscious mind. And there is lots of tasking.
Okay,
So
so
yeah,
this is very
if people are scared, because this is one thing that I really want to tell people, is growth is never comfortable, and it is hella not convenient for people. And which is why, unfortunately, so many people stay where they are. And I've heard it kind of coined as, this is comfortable suffering. Because it's hard, we stay in unhealthy marriages, we stay in jobs we hate because it's comfortable, even though I don't really like it. Well, let's just kind of do things and make it kind of comfortable, and at least, we're still getting by. That's not where we're at. We want people that really want to make change. They want to follow their passion, they want to follow their purpose. And there's that little kind of nagging thing that, this is not where I'm meant to be. I'm meant to do more, I'm meant to be more, I'm meant to give more, I'm meant to serve more. And that's those type of people that we want, because we want you to everybody's given gifts. That's not an if. Everybody's given special gifts. It's a matter of trying to bring that out in people, because society and culture and all this stuff that just pulls it all down. And I'm speaking from experience here. Let's not get this wrong. I have been through the ringer and back again. I'm East Indian. I left my husband. My family did not like it. I've been completely estranged from my family. And through this whole process, I have come out of it, because that I started really looking into, why am I here? What are the lessons that I'm supposed to learn from all these painful things? Because when things get painful
mm,
enough, life gets painful enough, that just means the universe is telling you, pay attention. You are meant to go somewhere else now. And so a coach like myself
mm,
can really bring that out in people and help people get there without the stumbling and the falling and really hitting that rock bottom, which is kind of what I did. I stumbled my way out of the rock bottom. I wish I had a coach like what I know now,
mm.
and that's why I'm in this, I'm a police officer. My whole life has been of service. I just don't feel like I'm serving people. I found this because this really brought it out in me, that I want to help give back this way and help people bring out their gifts, and then use those gifts to, for one, make a living out of it if you want to. And for two, just be the best version of yourself. At the end of the day, we hear that terminology all the time, except people aren't willing to do the work in because they need a proper tour guide to help them get there.
Amen. Amen to that. Well, and I did read that you are a first responder, so thank you very much for your service.
Thank you.
Because that, putting yourself on the front line, that says so much about you right there. So, would you say that it's a lot of what you've gone through in these last handful of years that is what led you to where you are today? Or did you
100%.
know that there was always something deeper inside of you? Like what
Everything
led you here? And did something drop in your lap or
everything happens for a reason, and I know that's cliche, and I believe that more now than I've ever have. Because if I started on this journey 20 years ago in my 20s, I never would have succeeded. Had I started even 5 years ago, I needed to
Mm,
go through all these things, and I made that comment about learning lessons. Everything that you go through in life, you're learning lessons. And I'm not gonna get too deep into this because this is a little bit of a bigger conversation, but we co-create everything that happens to us because we are here to learn those lessons. Now, it's what you do with those lessons that really makes kind of the make or break of, okay, are you going to take the lessons that you learned from this and grow from it and do something positive, or are you going to be go inwards, which is what a lot of people did, which I did for years, and just become cynical and upset and angry all the time. And I've been a police officer now for I'm in my 18th year. We see people on their worst days, and I wanted to help
mhm,
people, and I could help them in that scenario. However, there's so much deeper down, which is kind of how I started on this path. I started a business for with Awakened, a company called Awaken that had a health supplement that literally changed my life. I was plateaued health wise, weight wise, and it just really helped me get out of that slump. And through that, I started looking at people's mindsets. I'm like, wow, people really need a shift because we've been in these bodies, especially coming out of the pandemic. We've been in this situation for decades, some of us. And why do people think that in 2 weeks they should start seeing results when we've been in this body for 20 years? And it started going down this pathway of like, okay, let's go going into it more. And I met actually a woman who was a hypnotherapist, and I just started looking into it, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And as I learned more and more about it, I was like, yep. That little voice said, yep, Billy, this is what you're supposed to do. Because things started flowing. And when things are flowing, that means you're on the right path. If you're coming up against blocks, that's the universe saying, maybe you should adjust your course a little bit. Don't just keep walking into that boulder that's sitting in front of you, Billy. Why don't you move around it and see where you need to go and try going around it and seeing what's on the other side? And that's where that growth and that uncomfortableness and that scariness is, because we don't know what's on the other side of the boulder. We've never been there. And it could be the best thing in our life, but we have to go through those hard things to get there. And here I am.
mhm, mhm. Oh, I love it. I love it. And you just ooze passion.
Thank you.
And
Which is
yeah,
another
so
clue that you
who
are
wouldn't
doing
be
what you are meant
drawn to
to
that?
do. When you
Right?
wake up in the morning and you are feeling like you want to attack life, that is the universe saying, yes, this is where you're meant to be, because this is how we're supposed to feel in life. We're not supposed to wake up and be
Mhm.
like, oh, I don't want to go to work today. That's not what we were meant to do here on earth. And again, this is going to get into a bigger
Cool.
conversation, so we won't go there.
I love it. Okay, so you are located out on the West Coast. I know that you're in the province of British Columbia, but
Yes.
that's a big province. I lived out there. I'm married to a Chilliwack boy. So
Oh, okay.
where specifically are you in BC?
I am in Vancouver, which is the main city in BC, and it's about an hour from Chilliwack.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So you're actually a Vancouver proper because a lot of times, people will say Vancouver, but they're in Surrey or Langley or White Rock, and those are
Yeah, I'm
all
actually
places that,
Vancouver.
that
Apparently, people that are born and raised in Vancouver, there's not many of us left. So I was actually born and raised in proper Vancouver my entire life. I think I lived in for a year. It was about a year I lived in Toronto, and that was about it. Otherwise, I've been
oh,
here my entire yeah. And actually, my
okay,
board
okay. Well,
designations
it
are
is
valid in 42 countries. The boards that
wow,
work in
wow.
42. So, I mean, it's not just I don't only see people in person, actually, it's through Zoom too, and we can do hypnosis and all this type of stuff through Zoom as well, so it is possible.
Well, there you go. That was my next sort of my next question, right? Is sort of how your business is set up. So many of us um, had that gift of the pandemic. Whoops, I just lost an earbud. That they pop right out of my ears. um,
Mine too.
where even if you weren't virtual before, it really did bring that out, and it's incredible. But wow, that many countries around the world, that is
Mhm.
phenomenal. And do you find that are you finding most of your people through word of mouth? Are you finding that you're reaching people through your socials? I don't know, like,
Yeah,
but
it's
where are you
right now,
finding you're attracting your people?
it's social media, because 'cause I've been posting my journey, from literally when I was at well, not when I was at the bottom, because I was off social media completely during that time, because I needed that break, which I recognized.
Mm,
And then I just kind of rebirthed myself last September on social media, and since then, I've just been posting lots of content and lots of value, because people need to be ready to do this. This is not one of those things where,
mhm.
"Oh, that sounds cool. Sure, maybe I'll try it." That's why I take myself as a hustle coach. This is not for trying. You know, this is people that want real
Mhm.
results,
Mhm.
ready for change, and they're ready to
Mm,
really do the work that they need to do. And it's not, I'm not, people think of hypnosis and they think, oh, you're going to make me cluck like a chicken and bark like a dog. It's not that. It's nothing immoral. It's nothing illegal. Obviously, I'm a police officer. I'm not going to make you go rob a bank to prove yourself to me. It is just doing tasking that you need. The things that you don't want to
mm,
do are the things that you are supposed to be doing, because that's where the growth and, all that is necessary.
mhm, mhm. And it's interesting because you made the comment about how you offer up so much good content and so much value, and you have done so much of that just in this conversation alone. Like, I've
Right.
been taking notes over here, and there's a few moments where I was like, okay, like that was gold. I just didn't want
Yeah.
to cut you off and tell you so, but you've dropped some
Yeah.
absolutely incredible nuggets here, and it just goes to show that you are amazing at what you do. And
Thank you.
what a blessing for you and for the world, that you have found your calling and that you are stepping into your strengths and your gifts and all the rest. So I'm absolutely thrilled. Do you know Shelly? Like, how did you get
Mhm.
involved with the Pursuit 365 community?
I actually met Shelly years ago, pre-pandemic. I was doing another company called doTERRA. It was essential oils, because I had fell in love with them, because when my kids were little really young, I was looking for more natural solutions, and I found this company that had essential oils, and I was blown away. And again, something that I was like, how come nobody knows about this? People need to know that they can use essential oils for this stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, I had to tell the world. So it just naturally made sense for me to do the business, which is kind of where I feel now. I'm like, some of the simple things that I've said to you, where you were like, oh, people don't know. You don't know what you don't
Mhm.
know. And this is exactly why sometimes people
Correct.
need to work with the unconscious, because that's all the stuff that you don't know that you don't know. And it's 96% of it. It's
Mhm.
huge. It's a huge number.
Mhm.
So I actually met Shelly at a trade show where I was there for doTERRA, and she was running it, and I fell in love with her. She's amazing. And we just kept in touch, became Facebook friends. And then I knew someone else that was in the book in a past edition. And when September came along, and it's, that thing I was telling you, everything happens for a reason, was the first time I went on stress leave. And this is more of a personal thing. I went on stress leave for the first time in my career in August last year. And this awakened company, this business kind of fell into my lap in the beginning of September. And so started my journey. And now I'm
Mm.
retiring years, and I'm taking this up full time. So it's everything comes when you are ready to. And that's the same thing that keeps coming down, is the universe will bring you things when you are ready to make it happen. It's just make sure you recognize that,
Mhm.
right? And yeah, I just
That's right.
I
And some
I talked. Billie, and I loved the book, and I was like, "I'm in. I don't even know what I'm doing yet," because I was starting on this journey, and I was like, "I know I need to help people and serve, and if I can get to more people through this book," and who doesn't want to be a co-author? I think it's a great idea.
Right? Isn't it cool? Especially people that have a similar mission in the sense that they want to help others. They want to
Yeah.
help lift one another up. I say it all the time. If only our world would just link elbows, let's just link elbows and let's help each other rise. Right? What's the quote? A rising tide lifts all ships.
Of
Right?
course.
Instead of tearing one another down or looking at each, as someone, well, they're going to take something from me. No. If you bring your strengths and add them to my strengths, and we add them to Shelly's strengths, and we add
Yeah.
them to so and so's strengths, and oh my gosh, the blossoming and the mushrooming that can come of that is amazing. We don't need to shrink away from each other, and we have to admit that we don't know, like what you said, we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah.
But that's where it's so wonderful to find somebody that does know it and learn from them. and
Mhm.
and then they might want to learn something. I don't know, maybe you want to learn to skate, not that I do that anymore, but it's
Yeah.
it's that, right? We all have and know what we know, and we shouldn't make ourselves smaller because we don't know what somebody else knows. My goodness, these
Right.
earbuds. So
It's so
okay.
cool, like, if people realize we are all connected, and this is one of some of the work that I've done on myself first, which was help me realize why this work is so important. Because I don't wanna do it just because it's great. I wanna know the reasoning why it works, because that's where my brain goes. And it's because we are all connected. We are not here You're not here to do something, and I'm not. We're all here to learn and grow. This is, the whole purpose of what's the meaning of life? Well, it's to grow. If you're not growing, you are literally decaying. And if you are not growing your brain and
Mhm.
evolving and learning and then sharing that with others and helping lift others, we are coming down and literally, like, we're like kind of at a tipping point. And this is why this work is so important, is that is we can get a certain number of humanity to a certain level, it'll be that tipping point that will get us all there. And it's just scary that, because it can go the other way too. And we're not going to get into politics and all this horrible things that are happening in the world. And I think just even this, I wish when I was learning this stuff, like, I wish everybody could go through timeline therapy, just have 2 sessions, get rid of your negative emotions and your limiting decisions. If every person on the planet could do those 2 things, my goodness, the vibration would be raised so high. Just those 2 things, because we are living in those
Mm,
negative emotions because we feel like life is
mm,
happening to us. And it's not, it's happening for us. And we have to change that whole mentality, is that no, like, not woe is me. This is happening to me because I'm supposed to learn something through this and grow through it. And then I take those lessons and I pay it forward so I can share my lessons with other people, which I think why my story was my story, because I can help women that are, going through horrible marriages, women that are always made to feel small, because in our culture, women are not celebrated for independence and entrepreneurship and all that. And there's a lot of women that don't do it because of that. And I want to be that
mhm,
kind of that example that, no, yes, you can. I've been there. I was raised in a
mm,
family that
mhm,
didn't want me to do business, and here I am 47 years later, and now I finally made a decision that I'm not gonna play small. I'm not gonna let them decide who I am or who I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to do in life. And if I had to leave my whole family and leave my marriage and do all that stuff, I know I'm doing it for the right reasons, and this is my path, and I'm gonna start listening to it instead of to the naysayers. And this is another, I'll leave you with this really key thing. If you are wanting to increase whatever it is that you're doing, make sure you surround yourself with people that will be your cheerleaders and not the Debbie Downers, because most of the time it's our family, unfortunately. They're like, "Well, you sure you want to start a new business? It's kind of scary. You got a good pension happening here. Are you sure you want to leave that? Are you sure you want to leave your husband? Are you sure that blah 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 blah?" And that's affecting your unconscious mind. Even though it's not your thoughts, their thoughts are
mm.
affecting your conscious mind. So if you are wanting to start a new business or start a new path or a relationship, whatever it is, whatever your goals are, make sure you surround yourself with people that are on that same vibration, because they will raise your energy, raise your vibration, and therefore help you and your unconscious mind get in line and help you reach your goals where you need to be.
There's the mic drop. There's the mic drop. We're gonna end it right there because I've got nothing else to say and I don't want to take away from that. So Billie, thank you so much for all you are doing for your for sharing your gifts, and I'm so thrilled that you joined this community and that I got a chance to meet you, and I will be in further touch with you. That is for sure. You've definitely resonated with me, and so there you go. Right there's a whole
Yeah,
thing of we've met for a reason. So um,
absolutely.
everybody have a fantastic Wednesday. Billie, thank you again for your
Thank
time,
you.
and
Thank you.
everybody have a fantastic day. And we'll see you next week.